What it do? We're gonna have a conversation today. Did you know? I'm not gonna be in front of you long. We're gonna drop some information. Let's talk about it. But did you know that Charlie Kirk and them and TPUSA was just not on those college campuses debating children? They were actually doing something more diabolical behind the scenes. Some people think it's a good thing. Some people think it's a bad thing. We're going to talk about it. In 2016, Turning Point USA believed that there was discrimination against conservative students and they promote anti-American values and they advanced leftist propaganda in the classrooms. It was launched in 2016 and had a list of 200 professors by the end of December. They were making black lists of professors, and a lot of them were black. That's what's crazy about it. A lot of them were black. A lot of them were black. We're gonna go into it, right? We're gonna go into it, right? Turning Point USA list gains attention after it expands, and some notice it disproportionately names academics of color. Damn. Right? Now, I'm not making this up, right? I'm not making this up. I'm looking at this right now. Looking at this right now. I'm just reading this to you. I'm looking at it right now, right? Kelly Carter Jackson, affirmative. She was an associate professor at Africana Studies at Wesley College. She was getting hate mail. They ran her ass pretty much out the university because she wrote a book about George Floyd and the George Floyd protests. Freedom through violence is a privilege possessed only by whites. I guess that's what she said. But TPUSA got her ass kicked off. Got her ass got her ass kicked out, right? So we're gonna go into it real quick. I'm gonna show y'all this stuff real quick because I ain't gonna be up here long. Can't be up here all day talking about this stuff. We're gonna go into the damn Wikipedia about this, right? They also have a Turning Point UK and a Turning Point uh and a Turning Point um USA. Yep, they do. We'll get into it though. Okay. Let me get into it right quick. 'Cause they got everything up here. I just can't get to the one that I was at. Hold on, let me see if I can get it. Ah, that ain't it. So we're gonna go into the professors. They over 200 professors that they put on this list, right? So we're gonna start looking at the professors, right? Y'all see them, right? We're gonna start looking at these people. And there are a whole lot of black women. There are a whole lot of black women on this list, though. I do think that black women are overrepresented in this list. There are a whole lot of black professors that Turning Point USA. It's called Professor Watch List. On the first row, you got damn. Hold on, let me see if I can get in on this shit. On the first row, you got Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton on the damn first row. You know what I'm saying? For real. Got Al Sharpton ass on the first row. That nigga ain't even a professor. But then I'm gonna let y'all listen to a wild nigga though, right? One of these niggas, one of them they should have maybe gotten rid of. One of them, these brothers should be on the watch list though. I want y'all to, I want y'all to check this brother out right here. Let me see if I can find him. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Ben Phillip, and they be doxing these people too, right? They got their whole face and everything up here, everything, right? But Ben Phillip, right? He he's an assistant professor of the Department of Education and Film Studies at Barnard College and broadcast by Canada Broadcasting Company, CBC. Mr. Phillips describes his fantasies about an enthusiastic race war. Damn. Yo, and then they be clipping these people too, right? They be clipping these people. They get them every time. They clip them. They do all kinds of shit to them, man. When they clip them. Let's see if I can find that clip. They took that shit down. They took that clip down where he was saying all that crazy stuff. Let's do it. Let's see if this is it. So this is it right here. Hold on. I'm gonna play it for you. I'm gonna play it for you.
War and what side you would be on, and you took it to a place that I just found really shocking and disturbing to read. Would you say a little bit about that?
Sure. Actually, fun fact, that section used to be so much longer. So thank you to my editor for like condensing it.
Mhm.
I'm a big Dungeons and Dragons person, so I went into advanced world building of what that race war could look like.
Mhm.
And they were just like, no, maybe just like half a page.
Mhm.
It was ultimately just trying to take the state of the world to its logical conclusion. If we all have to sort of exist in this common land together, and we can't get along, and we can't heal, and we can't try to understand each other, if it's always going to be us versus them, define the us, define the them, however you want, then, I guess I was wrestling with the question that isn't the end result of that just all out warfare? Like Game of Thrones style warfare? And what does that look like? And I lived in that sort of straight thought for a few pages. And it was disturbing to write too, because I'm not a violent person. I love all my white friends.
Well, let's for people who haven't read the book, you write about you say I'll when this race war hits its crescendo, I'll gather you all into a beautifully decorated room under the pretense of unity. I'll give a speech to civility and all the good times we've shared. I'll smile as we raise our glasses to your good white health, while the detonator blinks under the table, knowing the exits are locked and the air vents filled with gas. I mean, I I'm a Jewish person, and grandparents survived the Holocaust. I can tell you how it felt to read that sentiment. And I wanted to say to you that I'm so sorry that your experience of the world made you feel that way and made you feel compelled to write that. Um, how do you reflect on?
Yo, that's wild, right? So being wild. Ben is a wild dude, right? So I see why they got Ben on the professor watch list, right? I see why they got him on the professor watch list. This this brother out here writing books about race wars. It is what it is, right? And gas on white people after telling them that he wanted you. Oh, it's wild stuff, man. I don't know, but you know what? If you send your kid to a university, should it matter? Like what if they take one of these classes with one of these professors, should it matter? Because some of these professors aren't that bad, right? Like, let me show you. They have brother up here that's on this watch list that I don't think is that bad. Let me see. Now, some of these brothers up here kind of wild, dog. But this brother right, let me see if I can find him. This brother right here, there are a whole lot of black women on this watch list. But this brother right here, I don't think he that bad, right? He at Rucker University. I do not know how to say his name. I do not know what his name. I do not know what that is. Have no idea what that is. He African. He don't seem like a bad guy though. We're gonna listen to his shit.
Language matters, you know, and I think that in a society like the United States, which has actually a history of anti-intellectualism, there can be a way to marginalize and to act like language doesn't matter, or someone who's talking about language is just engaging in semantics. But you know, these words really stand in. They help us to understand things. So you're right. To talk about human trafficking is important. To talk about enslavement as opposed to just slaves. I mean, I had to go back when I was making Uncivil and delete the word freed slave out of every script. The idea that slavery is something that marks a person, that you're still a slave even after you're free, and all these other kinds of things. So I think that those these words are important. I would say though, in organizing and in our broader pop projects of mass communication, of mass political education, which I hope we all should be involved in, I do think we have to have a sense of compassion, right? Because we have egos. I mean, I'm someone who I still battle with my ego all the time. In an earlier version of myself, I would have loved to shout down people who were using the wrong words. No, brother, it should be this, it should be that, it should be this. And I find that what that does is that approach to it is not helpful, I think, right? I think we have to, sometimes if we're being compassionate, we can understand what someone needs. We can raise questions, and I think that's important. I'll say very, very quickly that the use of the term black and white, if we stopped identifying as black and white and Latinx and Native and Asian, and we stopped thereby collecting statistics, racial statistics of people who identify as such, then we won't be able to identify and even see racial inequities. And if we can't see racial inequities, we can't identify the racist policies that are causing those racial inequities. And if we can't identify racist policies that are causing those inequities, then racism will persist and we won't be able to see it, let alone fight it. And actually, racist power currently, their final solution is actually for us to not identify racially, precisely so we can have inequity that we can't see.
I don't think them brothers is bad, dog. I don't think they should be. I don't think they should be canceled, yo. I don't think that. I don't think those brothers should be on um the professor watch list, right? And this is a real thing, right? I ain't make this up, right? Look, professor watch list, and they like. So what TP USA was doing, right? They were using the students as a by proxy war. Whoever would have known this shit, right? They would debate with the children and they would let the children, you know how like your mom, your dad would say what happens in our house happens in our house. You don't need to go out here to school telling everybody what happened at our house, right? So in order to get through that, right, what they did is they let the children talk. They debate. Matter of fact, they force the children to talk through these debates. They know it. They know they didn't care about these debates. They didn't care about these debates, but they just wanted to hear the things the children would say, because the things the children would say were the things that they were learning. Then you could attack the school and the professors. Only 7% of Harvard, as far as the professor, only 7% of them are black. But I think you got like 5 black people from Harvard on the professor watch list. Mm-hmm. What up, Ben Garcia? What it do? What it do, Ben Garcia? So that's what I'm saying, man. They got to leave the universities alone. Let's see why did they let's see Al Sharpton on the list. Allen, let's see why is Alvin Lee on the list? What did Alvin Lee do? How did Alvin Lee? Alvin Lee at Purdue University. So hold on. This is Alvin Lee. This is Alvin Lee right here. What did he do? Let's see what Alvin Lee did. Let's see what Alvin Lee did. Alvin Lee at Purdue University. He's a relations specialist at Purdue University. Let's see what he do. What he do? America is a melting pot and a microaggression. All right, here we go. He coined the phrase microaggressions, racial assault on minorities and white people. Oh no, this is. I'm letting the man talk for himself. They gotta be like they got video evidence of everybody up here, yo. They got video. Damn. So he helped produce some of the words. Damn, he got over $121 million just for producing racial segregation words to the Southern Poverty Law Center. Damn, they paid him. Damn, they paid him a lot of money. Yeah, he just been suing. He just been suing people. He a professor that's been suing people. That's why they mad at him. All right, here we go. So Alvin Lee ain't really did nothing but sue people. We're gonna see what let's see what some of the black women have done. Andrea Joseph. Let's see how she got on this list. Let's look at the black women. Let's look at the black women. You see her? You see her? Andrea Joseph McCappy. At the University of Tennessee. How did Charlie Kirk put her on the list? And this is all from TPUSA. This is actually TPUSA site. Let's see what she did so bad. All she did was teach critical race theory. Get her ass out of here, dog. That's all she did. Yo, these niggas is out of line. They are out of line, dog. She ain't really do nothing. All she said is black girls are 4 times more likely to be suspended than white girls. She ain't do nothing either. This it's easy to get on this list, dog. It's looking like it's easy to get on the bad side of the Christian national education system. Angela Davis up here. What the hell did Angela Davis do? Well, there are a lot of black women up here. Look at her ass. Angela Davis. There are a lot of black women on this list. She at the University of California, Santa Cruz. What did her black ass do? Damn. She led a feminist studies and a women's march. All right, it looks like she was a feminist. She taught at the University of Santa Cruz. She teach women's studies and feminist studies, and she led a 2017 march. Uh-oh. She a open communist though. She an open communist. Oh shit. Uh-oh, here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we go. We got video on her talking some shit.
Any idea what you're looking at? That is a list of passengers on the Mayflower. No, I can't believe this. No. My ancestors did not come here on the Mayflower. Your ancestors came on the Mayflower. No. You are descended from one of the 101 people who sailed on the Mayflower.
Damn. That's like David Duke finding out that he has some black in him. That shit right there hurt her feelings, yo. When she find, that's why I'm telling you, she out here teaching this pro-black shit, and come to find out she on the Mayflower.
Any idea what you're looking at? That is a list of the passengers on the Mayflower. No, I can't believe this. No. My ancestors did not come here on the Mayflower. Your ancestors came on the Mayflower. No. You are descended from one of the 101 people who sailed on the Mayflower. Oof. That's a little bit too much to deal with right now. Did you ever, in your wildest dreams, think that you may have descended from people who laid never the foundation never for this country? Never.
Damn. So she out here teaching all the pro-black shit. Come to find out. I be damn, dog. This shit crazy, cuz. Look, here she go. She old.
Nuestro comandante en jefe con el casco blanco de los constructores en el aniversario de los comités de defensa de la revolución. Y el presidente lo indicó con su casco blanco y Angela Davis también con el casco blanco de la construcción.
Yo, hold up. She in communist Cuba. Yo, this shit crazy. Hey, yo, hold on. Yo, Charlie Kirk might be. I don't know, man. Some of these people might not need to be teaching, dog. What is she doing in 1972? Angela Davis was with Fidel Castro in 1972, dog. What she doing down there? What she doing down there in damn communist Cuba in 1972? And they got her ass. They got her ass too.
Blanco y Angela Davis también con el casco blanco de la construcción, igual que miles y miles de nuestro pueblo que llenan la plaza en la noche de hoy en el 90º aniversario de los comités de defensa de la revolución. Se incorpora también Angela Davis con su casco de constructora para participar a esta entrega Angela Davis del carnet de miembro de honor de los CDR que ella está exhibiendo con alegría y mostrándoselo a nuestro comandante en jefe. Angela Davis.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about, really. I really don't know what he's talking about, but they did prove a point that damn. So I guess what they saying is a lot of these professors are communists, and the professors.
Angela Davis. Советские люди. Все люди доброй воли сердечно поздравляют вас с присуждением вам высокого звания лауреата Международной Ленинской премии за укрепление мира между народами. Разрешите вручить вам золотую медаль лауреата Ленинской премии с изображением Владимира Ильича.
Oh hell no! She been going from communist country, receiving plaques and oh hell no! She been hanging with them other people. This shit crazy. Nah, we gotta get out of there. We gotta get out of there. Now she old and shit. Look at her. Now she old. Look at her. Now she old. Look at her.
in which the whole functioning of racism has been transformed. Consider local police departments all over this country that have been trained in counterinsurgency tactics and strategies, anti-terrorist approaches, and in many instances, I have to say they're trained by the the state of Israel.
Ah, damn, here we go. Here we go with the shit. Shit, anti-Semite.
Recognize that because of the fact that the U.S. is responsible for the continuation of the occupation of Israel, struggle against racism here in the United States.
Hey, yo, Charlie Kirk said, get her ass out the university. Get her out the university. Get her out.
Palestinian sisters and brothers.
Uh-oh. Free, free, free Palestine.
I mean, after all, Palestinian activists on the ground in Palestine were the very first to offer solidarity for those who were demonstrating at Ferguson. They were the very first.
Well, I guess, hold up, yo. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Charlie might be on a little bit, yo. Some of these professors is a little bit turned up, yo. Some of them a little turned up. Some of them a little turned up, yo. I ain't gonna lie. She been hanging with Fidel Castro. She been this shit crazy. So I'll give Charlie Kirk and TPUSA. Some of these professors is crazy, right? But not all of them, dog. I think they overreached on some of them. They overreached on some of these people. Like they're like the African brother, they overreached on that African brother. That African brother, we got another black woman. Damn, they too many black women on this list. Right, and then that's right, and then it goes professor profile, right? It break down their whole profile. It break down the whole profile on their ass. There's another black woman. Let's blow her up. She's from the University of Pennsylvania, so this is gonna be interesting because that's where Trump went at. I think Elon Musk went to the University of Pennsylvania too. A black woman. They threw her ass on the list. They threw another black woman on the list. What did she do? What did she do? All she did. Oh hell, I gotta find out. I gotta find what she said because they. It sounded like some bullshit. Don't like she did much of nothing. Oh shit! Here we go. Racism. She said, "Let me quote the theses of my book. Racism is a feature, not a bug, of American evangelism." Mm-mm. She done got kicked. She went against the church. She went against the Christian national teaching. Mm-mm. Can't do that. Can't do that. But there are a whole bunch of people up here that there are a whole lot of there are a whole lot of white people up here, dog. Man, this list got all these white teachers. Man, the list got a lot. The list is mainly black, white, and Palestinian. Yeah, the list is mainly black, white, and Palestinian. But the list is growing and it's continuing to grow. So you go to school and become a professor. If you ain't preaching the right stuff or teaching, you're gonna get canceled. You're gonna get canceled. Oh yeah, all these teachers out of line. Man, being a professor is not. You ain't gonna make it, dog. You is not gonna make it if you trying to be a professor and teach against the Christian nationalism, dog. They gonna find a way to get you fired. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Brittany Cooper, Rutgers University. Look at Brittany Cooper. Look at Brittany Cooper. Mm-mm-mm. Now, Brittany Cooper, like she deserved to be on this damn list, Joe. Now, I know Christian nationalism is taking over the universities, but I think Brittany Cooper deserved to be on this list. Now, she out of line. She is out of. Why did she take that picture like that? Why is she looking like that? Come on, Brittany Cooper. You look like you a problem. Out of Rutgers, out of New York. Out of this some New York shit. This some rough, tough. This is what New York got to offer. This is crazy. Right? But anyway, so you know she wild. Yeah, she teach racism, feminism, and gender. Ah, damn. They gonna fire her ass too. Oh shit. All right, let's see what they say.
I think that white people are committed to being villains in the aggregate, right? The real sort of issue here, and I've heard people sort of say, I think that white people are committed to being villains in the aggregate, right? The real sort of issue here, and I've heard people sort of say it, is one, I think that white people viscerally fear. It's not that white people don't know, right, what they have done. They know. They fear that there is no other way to be human but the way in which they are human, which is to, so, like you talk to white people, and whenever you really want to have a reckoning about it, they say stuff like, it's just human nature. If y'all had all of this power, you would have done the same thing, right? And it's like, no, that's what white humans did. White human beings thought there's a world here and we own it. Prior to them, Black and brown people have been sailing across oceans, interacting with each other for centuries without total subjugation, domination, and colonialism. I have seen what a show this iteration of treatment of other human beings means, and that my hope is that we would do it differently, in the moments when we have some power. We will not do it perfectly, but I do think that all of us can sort of agree that a politics that says like there are superior and inferior human beings just isn't the way to go. And that's the thing that white people don't trust us to do, because they are so corrupt. Their thinking is so morally and spiritually bankrupt about power. They can't they fear viscerally, existentially letting go of power.
Oh no, hold on, yo. Hey man, hey, well, this is college. Hey, college where you try to, you hash these things out. You have these conversations. I don't think should they cancel? They definitely put her on the list. She definitely on the list.
Because they cannot imagine that there's another way to be. It is either that you dominate or you are dominated. And isn't it sad that is spiritually who they are, and that they can't imagine a sort of more expansive notion of the world? The thing I want to say to you is we got to take these motherfuckers out. But like, we can't say that, right? We can't say, like, I don't believe in a project of violence.
Yo, hold on, dog. Hold up, yo. Hold up. Hold up. Did Shorty just say that all white people want to do is dominate other people? And then she said, well, we need to take these motherfuckers out. Hold on, dog. Come on, dog. But Brittany Cooper, she with the book. Here we go.
Truly don't. Because I think in the end that our souls suffer from that. And I do think that some of this is a spiritual condition. So here is where I land most days about white people. And I actually have been helping this by thinking about indigenous people, right? See, part of the challenge around whiteness is that it totally skews our view of everything, right? I gave this like TED talk about this some years back. And one of the reasons I was trying to think about it is like, the world didn't start when white people arrived in America and tried to tell all the rest of us how things were going to go. There were people out here making worlds, Africans and indigenous people being brilliant, and libraries and inventions and vibrant notions of humanity and cross-cultural exchange long before white people showed up being raggedy and violent and terrible and trying to take everything from everybody. And that's really
Damn.
important, because if we believe that history starts for us when white people drag us to these shores, then we can never get outside of the notion that this is going to be our existential struggle. All things that began end. White folks are not infinite and eternal, right? They ain't gonna go on for infinity and infinity. And that's super important to remember, that white colonialism and imperialism has a beginning. And in my way of thinking about the world, that means it has an end. And so part of what we are trying to do is to imagine what are the steps that we must take.
She said she pretty much want to end white people. I mean, or white culture. I don't know. Do she want to end white people or just white culture? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Get to the other side of this very inconvenient, epochal interruption of like black and indigenous world making. I mean, does that give people comfort on the day to day when you like just having to deal with white folks and the travesties that they create and the sense that they want to destroy the planet? No, there is a world beyond even our sojourn on the earth, and so whiteness is gonna have an end date, because it is not. Despite what white people think of themselves, they do not defy the laws of eternity, right? Their projects are not so sophisticated that the natural laws of physics change for them. And when we sort of humble them in humble our own understandings of whiteness, it seems like the biggest giant that we face. But in the end, right, it is what I like to say is, black folks were out here for six.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Go back at it. Go back at it, sweetheart. Go back at it.
Centuries and centuries and millennia doing all kinds of wonderful things, and probably some up things too. But whiteness is largely an inconvenient interruption. And so we then get to ask ourselves, so why am I here in this moment of it? Like, damn, why did I show up in this particular iteration? And it's like, well, I think we showed up in this iteration precisely so that we could um, help to figure out an end and a way to the other side of this, uh, gargantuan historical tragedy that is white supremacy.
Damn. Damn. Well, that's interesting. That is interesting. Shorty said, Shorty different, dog. Shorty a little bit different with her thought. But it is what it is. It is what it is, right? But she done made Professor Watch list, and it was started by Charlie Kirk and TPUSA in 2016. Well, they'll just monitor all of these professors, and they trick you into thinking that they was on that campus to debate your children. They did debate the children, but they were really there to see what the children thought. Because ultimately, whatever those children were saying, they were getting from those professors. So when the kids came in there and said some communist type stuff, or anti-Christian, or anti-Israeli, or free, if you said free Palestine, your ass got to get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you were a professor. And that's what I'm noticing about all these professors. If you talk about racism, you gone. Talk about free in Palestine, get up out of here. They had a bunch of black women up here. What is Candace? We got another Candace, y'all. But this ain't the Candace that y'all know. Right? This is Professor Profile. I should I should Professor Profile, right? Uh-oh. Candace, what did Candace Harkins do? Candace Hargis at the University of Kentucky. This is like a this is a she don't even like a man. She like she might be a decent individual. Hold on, what did Candace do to get on the watch list of TPUSA? Now, what did she do? Let's look at it one more time. That's Candace. What did she do? Hold on. Diagnosis, psychopathy, ethics, social justice. Oh, so is she a licensed? Hold on. She's a licensed psychology. That she's a licensed psychologist. Is also a professor, and she specializes in sex trauma and racial healing. Black light. So she had a black. She had a book. Hold on. She has a Black Lives Matter meditation for healing racial trauma. Let's see what this shit is. Let's see what this shit is. Discontinued. Uh, yeah. Let's see what this is. All right, let's see what this is. Damn, I can't even pull it up. Let's see. Let go back one. Oh, this is the Black Lives Matter joint. Y'all hear it? This is a 17-minute song for healing. You are listening to a Black Lives Matter meditation. This is a meditation for healing racial trauma. Mm. This meditation was written and recorded by Dr. Candace Crowell. The music was provided by Richard Maddox at meditationoasis.com. But I ain't about to listen to 17 minutes of this shit. I wonder if it get any better. This is a 17-minute song. Safe. Have peace. Black lives matter. What the hell? I don't know about that one, dog. Yeah, I don't know about that one, dog. Yeah, that 17-minute meditation song. The damn, she been at a bunch of places, yo. UCLA, Emory, University of North Carolina at Charlotte, University of Iowa. Mm. She done been around a whole lot of areas with this 17-minute meditation on on healing from racial trauma. So they done got rid of her ass. Damn, I don't think she that bad though, man. Like I don't think what she doing. It might be a little. Some people can say it's weird, but I don't think her creating a 17-minute Black Lives Matter meditation song is that bad. I don't think her trying to heal from her perceived racial trauma is that. I don't think it's that bad. Now the problem is they say she's teaching it to the children or to the young college students. But the Christian nationalists, they we got to go on the other side, and we got to we looking at the ones that they disapproved of. We got to find the ones they actually approve of. And I guarantee that's gonna be getting some wild shit out of the ones they approve of. You hearing some wild stuff out of the ones? Damn, another black woman. Why are so many black women on the professor profile? Bam, another one. Let's look at Carol Anderson, Emory University. What the hell she done? What has she done? She teach African American studies at Emory University. Oh shit. She told black people to keep and bear arms and ultimately empower militias, black militias. Oh shit. Well, well, she with the shit. Yeah, she a radical. Yeah, she wanna start a war. Or she just write about that stuff. Obviously, these people ain't trying to start no wars. These people ain't trying to start no wars. These people they just professors. They're just smart people with they're just smart people with a lot of they're just smart people or perceived smart people with a bunch of ideas. I mean, I don't know, man. But my thing is, yo, for them to do this shit so sneakily, yo, to be so sneaky with it, dog. Like I thought they supported free speech. I thought the right supported free speech. That is not true, dog. They getting that man. If y'all can see this list, man, like dog, I can just let me show you this shit. I can just start going up. Look at all this list. This is all the professors that's on the list. Look, this is all of them, dog. This is so many of them. Like so many of them. There's so many professors on this list. A whole bunch of them. A whole bunch of these professors. And this is right here on Turning Point USA. They got another black woman up in here, but I already know why they don't like her. I already know. Right, look at her. Look at her. She in there with a damn blazer on and some dreadlocks. She that nah, dog. That look like Ringo TV or some shit. My nigga, like I don't know. I know why they don't like her because she in that gender confusion shit. But she at Columbia University. She at Columbia University. What did she come up with? Critical race theory. She ain't even teach. All she doing is critical race theory. Oh, she got a book called Critical Race Theory is an Intellectual Branch of Marxism. So but I hate to blame it on communism because shit, all these motherfuckers be on some communist shit. Even Republicans. It ain't, one sided. It ain't one sided at all. Man, they so many black people on this damn list. And they want you to donate money to this list and shit. Like, man, y'all are out of line, man. Y'all are out of line. Thought we lived in a country where we had free speech. Charlie Kirk and them saying no free speech. Get that mess out of here. We taking over these universities. And Charlie Kirk gone, so pretty much it's just TPUSA rounding up all these damn teachers. And ain't so many black people up here, yo. Mainly black women, though. I ain't gonna lie, the black women are up here deep. Here another black woman. Damn. What? They got mad black women in here. Trump said TPUSA said the most educated better not be trying to teach any damn thing. Oh, here we go. Look at her ass. Shaniqua Walker Barnes. Shaniqua, you cannot be a professor anymore. Get your ass out of here. That's what TPUSA said. They got her ass on the watch list. She at Mercy University in Georgia. Ask God to help. Hold on, here she go. Here she go. Ask God to help me hate white people. That is some wild shit. Ask God to help me hate white people. Ask God to help her stop caring about white people, individually and collectively. Holy snap. Prayer she this shit is crazy. Claims she wants to stop believing that white people can be better than that and stop being racist. Prays that God will harden my heart so she can imagine white people as white hooded robes standing in front of burning crosses. Huh? Hold on, man. Let me drop. You said we are in fear of the sense of security of being diminished. So so that's the prayer. I'm gonna blow this up, right? So maybe you hear the prayer for the weary black woman. That is some crazy shit. That is some crazy shit. The prayer for the weary black woman. She wrote this. Look, the prayer for the weary black woman. And they said, no, Shaniqua, get your ass out of here. You cannot be a professor no more. So the fact that the fact that you can't even be a professor, and these are some wild thoughts, right? But I mean, white people are saying way worse shit. Thing about it is, these black people are saying this shit with a little bit of intellectualism or some intellectualism behind it. So they want them up out of there. So they got all these people on a professor watch list where they just watching everything that's being taught. And if they don't agree with it, they'll put you on a watch list. And from that watch list, your school could lose funding. Your school could lose funding. You thought you can get that new baseball? You thought you can get that new football stadium? Nope. Gotta get rid of them teachers. We not giving y'all no money unless y'all get rid of them teachers. Now the biggest problem that TPUSA has is against the donors or against people that what we call alumni. Alumni is like the biggest issue that TPUSA gonna come across because sometimes the alumni are going to support these colleges no matter what. However, if TPUSA can turn the alumni against their college because of what the college is teaching, the alumni won't fund them. Then the government won't will try not to fund them because they say they teaching anarchy and anti-American stuff. Like this brother right here. Like what some of these people are not really bad professors, man. They're really not. They're not really bad professors. They just they just not they're not saying what they want them to say. And that's what it boils down to. Like this brother right here, well, just pull his ass, let's pull him up. Charles H.F. Davis III. He know his dad. This 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 brother right here. This brother right here. That brother right there. They got his ass hemmed up. They got him hemmed up on the list. White people have rested in their sense of convincing people that they're optimal. As time passes, they're afraid that it's no longer their spot. Well, you see this, we see some, they willing to do some wild stuff to get there. They willing to do some wild stuff to stay on top. See, listen to this brother. He don't sound like a bad dude. But he at the University of Michigan, though, right?
I teach a course, Race, Racism, and Anti-Blackness in Higher Education, and that course really is a deep dive into understanding how systemic racism and structural racism function in society and in higher education context. Unlike other courses that may be more broadly focused on a multiple set of issues, this really wants to get us in a deeper set of analyses and understandings of the ways that racism can function within and across various categories of difference, but also how it's not just limited to interpersonal interactions. So often when we think about something like racism, we're often drawn to how we engage with one another and not the systems that make possible the ways that we engage to have detrimental impacts and disproportionate impacts on racialized, minoritized people. And so we want folks to have a specific set of language and understanding of how race, racism, and anti-Blackness are related, but also how they're different, and do so with a sort of depth and level of nuance that may not always be afforded in broader survey courses.
That don't sound bad to me. Don't sound bad to me. But he did say free Palestine. They see this is really like some doxing kind of shit though, right? Cause look at that, right? They got his tweets up here. They got this man tweets up here. Like this is his tweets. So like this like some doxing kind of shit, yo. They tell you the university that they work at. They bring up their tweets. They got clips of them, and this is all called it's called Professor Watch List, right? And they got pictures of this. Look at this. They got pictures of this motherfucker. They got pictures of him off of his social media, right? They got his tweets. They take his tweets. They do all that, yo. So like this shit is crazy, man. They try to take your tweets. They try to take your pictures. That's why, man, being on Facebook, man, having all these people have access to your Facebook, crazy. That makes us crazy. But I'm about to drop this link for a second, so I want people to, you know what I'm saying, tell me what they may think. You know what I'm saying? Are American universities safe to send your children? You know what I mean? Because I'm okay with the children getting a wild education. I'm okay with the children learning um I'm okay with all this shit. Yo. I'm not sitting here saying that they got them broken down. Oh shit. Oh shit. They got them broken down too. Look, the socialism. These are socialism professors. They got these niggas broken down into categories, yo. This shit crazy. They got these niggas broken down. Look, this brother, another brother, Robin Kelly. University of California, Los Angeles. But this shit crazy. They getting rid of all the damn professors that don't agree with everything they saying, man. This shit is crazy. And they got them categorized, profiling them. This hold on, let's see. Hold on, we got hold on, let's see. We got abortion. Who up here talking about abortion? Another black woman on this bitch. Get her ass up out of here. Another black woman talking about abortions. Charlie Kirk, TPUSA, we said we gotta get rid of her. Nah, she ain't black. Her name is Shook. Her last name Rodriguez. Let's look at Rodriguez. Rodriguez ain't black. Let's see. Yeah, but she support damn abortions. I'll be damn. What up, Mel?
Hey, life is what's up. All this, man, listen, it's not a mystery in history that people want to control somebody. In other words, somebody got to be the N word. Somebody got to be the nigga. Somebody. And it damn sure ain't going to be me. That's their attitude. And
Yep.
they are willing to die on that hill. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Because once it was all cute and fun and games when, black folks had, their little comeuppance, as they would call it. But when it starts to intimidate them, oh, they swinging. They swinging. They're like, wait a minute. If we not careful, they gonna breed educated babies.
So
So
we
now,
thought that. Oh, you got it, Mel. I'll let you finish.
no, you mentioned abortion when I came up here. It seems to me that, white women don't want to have children because what's the point? You know, and they're trying to reconstruct the environment. I would say that it's okay. We got you because we want more blonde haired, blue eyed babies. We want to populate this country with blonde haired, blue eyed babies. I think this is an Aryan focused mission. That's what I think. It's an Aryan focused mission. You know, you remember Trading Places, Pastor, when, you know, what's his name? Randolph and Mortimer, they was just as arrogant, cheap, stingy, and prejudiced as they can be. And when everything came crumbling down, they was like, wait a minute, this is ours. This is ours. We've been on this since it's been founded. Turn those machines back on. You see what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to losing, people are willing to die rather than
Yo,
lose.
I'm about to show you some of the most hypocritical stuff in the world. Right? Look at this. Right? That's
Okay.
it. That's his anti-First Amendment. Right? They got a whole
Anti-First Amendment.
but what is this whole what is this whole professional watch list? What is it?
Why they want people to be censored?
Yeah, why the hell hold on
Because
now? This is
there's influence in speech. There's influence, and
but I thought no, but they said that they want to get rid of the people that were against First Amendment.
oh, okay. Well, I'm not understanding, I guess, but
So what I'm saying is they called all those professors anti First Amendment. But what I'm saying is this whole professor watch list is anti First Amendment.
mhm,
The whole damn thing
that's
is.
the trickery. That's the trickery. When people understand strategy and tactics, you can see what somebody's up to. That's why I'm tremendously successful in somebody trying to battle me because
Mhm.
I'm familiar with human nature enough to view where they're coming from when they quote unquote call themselves attacking me, right? I know how to get down, in other words. And
Mhm.
that came through experience, dare I say, cruel baptism in Black YouTube. It was like, being a sweet-hearted woman, it never occurred to me that people would talk to each other so crazy. It never occurred to me. And then I got introduced to this entire algorithm of Black YouTube about a decade ago, if not more. And as brutal as it has been to be insulted, what it did was it strengthened my how can I put this? It strengthened me knowing that I'm not a punk. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, it's one thing to be a Bronze Star award winning, well decorated war veteran. It's another thing to demonstrate that you're resilient. And what I've been offered the opportunity with all these battles on YouTube is discover my social resilience. You know what I'm
And
saying?
you gotta
Because
have it.
as a war veteran, yeah, I can follow directions, read a manual, load a missile, send it off to Saudi Arabia, kill women and children. Like, I can be held responsible for that aspect of my life. But when it comes to a social see, when people walk outside thinking, yes, I'm going to be respected. Oh, wait a minute. Around the corner, there's somebody that's going to get you. What are you going to do? And there are different facets of it. I'm not talking about the physical jump you. I'm talking about somebody that's just verbally disrespecting you. How are you gonna handle that? Like, yeah, you could walk away, but do you have the resilience to make sure they never forget that you encountered them? That's the deal. And this is what these tactics are when it comes to somebody exercising their free speech, as you've mentioned, and then they turn around and saying anti-free speech, all this confusion and shit. That's all it is.
Mhm.
It's a tactic. It's
Look,
not.
they also got them categorized by COVID-19. If you told people to put on a mask, your ass is on this list. Your ass is on this list. Look, they got a brother up here too. They got a brother. Look, this a
Oh, you
brother.
mentioned doxing as well. So then you got to defend yourself against being embarrassed for things that you might have thought was cool at one time, but then change your mind. So yeah, they trying to embarrass people. It's a
Yeah.
tactic. It's a
Anti
tactic.
Second Amendment. If you against the Second Amendment, now Charlie Kirk got shot. They got black people are all, man. And we are underrepresented in a lot of things, but on this Professor Watch This, we are definitely on this shit. But yeah, anti Second Amendment. But Charlie Kirk is the one that got shot. His family should be for at least psychiatric. I mean, I at this point, I don't know, man. Like this shit crazy. You
Yeah,
got anti-Semitism.
they hide what they want to and they expose what they want to according to their tactics and strategy to achieve their goal. It's about goals.
It
What
is
is the
about
goal?
goals. It did all of these have goals
Am I
intended.
too loud? Maybe I should turn my mic down.
No, you ain't too loud, but yeah, all of these are goal intended because they
Yes,
got
yes.
Antifa, violence, sexualized. I mean, all this. I thought we lived in a country where people. I remember this guy. They killed him. This
Yeah,
guy
man.
right here. They
It's a goal. There's a goal in mind, and unfortunately, it's rarely said in public in a direct way. But people who are intelligent, they can piece the puzzle together, and it all adds up to something that does not favor Black folks.
It doesn't, yo. Because look, they got. So look, check this right. I want you to see this right. They got Antifa, which is we know is a organization that started in Europe in the 70s. It was a to go against the Nazi party in Germany. What the hell, Cornell? What the hell, my brother right here, Cornell West, got to do with at Harvard? What the hell he got to do with Antifa?
Nothing.
Nothing. That is a white organization from
But they
Europe that
but they
started in
gonna
this.
stick it on them. It's like calling. Remember in Black families, they used to call a girl fast because she snapped her fingers to some music somewhere, not understanding the lyrics. Right? She's a 7-year-old girl, not understand. Like, let's take this song for instance. What the hell is that song where it could be? It's snappy for a young child to hear, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like she's a brick house, or what was them other 70s damn songs? Uh Get Down on It.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
all
saying?
them. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so you got a 7-year-old girl, she's listening to the music, not the lyrics. She can't interpret those lyrics, but here it is, she's snapping to the beat, and she's, just enjoying quote unquote the music. But here it is, these old bitter ass aunties and shit, grandmamas and God knows whoever else, lurking ass uncles. Oh, she
What
fast.
the
She
fuck?
fast. That's the ignorance that 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 white people count on about us. They count on our ignorance, man. They count on us being told what we are and for us to believe it. And that's why they tagging that professor with that bullshit. He ain't got nothing to do with Antifa.
He ain't got
Any
nothing to do with
intelligent
that, too.
person will know that. But unfortunately, people are under the impression that Black folks are too stupid to follow anything other than what's in their face.
And they are going after this brother out here at Cornell. They're
Yeah,
going
I'm
after
not
Rick.
impressed. I'm not impressed with accusations. Accusations don't impress me. Like, I need indisputable facts. You know, like This we could say anything. I could say you uncircumcised. How would I know? I have no idea. You know what I'm
So
saying?
so
People just
is
make
this
up
bad?
shit.
Is this
You
bad?
can
What he
say,
said? Hold on, listen to this.
By no means, and please get this, by
I
no
can't
means
hear
are
that.
all black people and people of color participate in that struggle. By no means. In fact,
I
most
can't,
black people and
I'm
people of
trying
color
to.
refuse to participate. That is okay. You're not going to reach consensus among black people or brown people. You can't even reach consensus with 5 to 6 black folks. The trick is to find your community. Find your community. Find activist-oriented people. Find the real anti-racists. They're out there. Don't look for allies. This word allies. Look for comrades. Right? Look for comrades. And not all of them will be black or brown. Not all of them will be black or brown.
My man out here wilding. He said find some white people to help you tear this shit down. He's this nigga wilding, dog. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? That they try, but you know what? Why come he can't say that and give contextual historical precedence behind him saying it at a
Because
university? At a university, this is a we at university now, baby. We at a university level. We're supposed to challenge all of these thoughts to see who is actually more competent in their thought process or making more sense.
you know what though, Pastor, people are tired. You know, um, I mean, being retired myself, I'm not retired. Like I'm not tired.
Hmm.
I just happen to not. I can afford to not work, but there are people that cannot afford to not work. So they have, even in college, even in universities, they have responsibilities outside of the energy it takes to fight against what they would consider, um it'll have to wait priorities. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why people are not, just giving it their all. Think about in history when people just gave it their all. There was always a place where they could go to refuel that was for little or no cost. It could be a local, eatery. It could be a friend's house. It could be your family's auntie's place. It could be some place where you could go to refuel, recenter, regroup, get your mind right. You always had that reassurance, like I got some place to go to get my mind right and re-strengthen myself. People are convinced that this no longer is an option for them, so they just keep their head focused on the priorities of what they got to do to make it. That's why I don't think there's any exposure. I think there are intelligent people out there. They're just tired. They just like, why in the hell, when I got to get up for work at 5 o'clock in the morning, dedicate 3 hours on the live stream telling people what's up. I
You
got
know,
I
it
got to
is,
go to work.
yeah. Yeah, and that's why I don't go live that much. But I mean, when people don't look, when people look China on campus, is communist China influencing your child's education? No, I think Christian nationalists, which is nothing but these people ain't really Christians, man. It's no, that's not what's going on.
No,
These people are
they not fruit of the spirit Christians.
no,
They not beatitudes Christians.
no. They not
When it
what
comes to the
no.
beatitudes and the fruit of the spirit, they not those types of Christians.
Yeah, we not. Yeah, but it's all about donate though. They want you to donate. Cause look at this, right? Look at this, right? It says donate. Let me blow it up, right? It says thank you for supporting Professor Watchlist, a project of Turning Point USA. Turning Point
They want
USA
that
is
money.
it's a 501c3 not for profit. It's not for profit, but you ask for donations.
It's a money grab all day.
All
All day.
donations are tax deductible. They made sure they put that there. Look, you can't give nothing. You can't give nothing like 25, 50, 100, 250. Hell no, I ain't sending them no
It's
damn money.
wild, man. It's wild. But you know, greed has always ruled this country. We don't want to believe that, but how else can you explain folks kidnapping other people and forcing them to work? And quiet as it's kept, that is the kind of agenda on the table as well. Did you know that vagrancy laws are starting to be enforced and they got some place for these folks to go where they're going to impose upon them to work in order to stay at that uh camp, you know, they're literally putting people in the position, well, since you homeless, you know, you gotta you know, you gotta get swept up. We're gonna put you in this camp. And by the way, ain't nothing free. So there are rules and regulations and stipulations. You gotta get up at a particular, it's like, being in jail or some shit. You gotta, your life is not your own. Since you want to be out here like that, your life is not your own. We might as well put you to use. Okay. So since you homeless, we're gonna give you a place to stay, but we're gonna make you work for it. That
Yo,
shit
they said
can't
they
happen.
said they said you can submit a tip, right? Like it's almost like if you was going to jail, like, you were trying to find a criminal, and then you can submit a tip to find these professors that are supposedly committing all these crimes, right? Or teaching what they don't want to be taught in a Christian
Yeah, the
nationalist
accusations, yeah.
school.
The propaganda, yeah.
Man, this
Pay
shit
for the
crazy, man.
propaganda.
It's a wild thing, man. I hate to see it happen to the. I hate to see it happen to the country, man. We
Pay
gonna
for the
really we about to
propaganda.
really dumb it down. We about to really dumb it down. What up, cynical one? What up, how y'all doing, everybody in the chat? But
They
yeah, they
want
about to really.
everybody to pay for the propaganda. There was a time when propaganda was just propaganda. Now they want you to pay for the propaganda. It's like, you
Mhm.
like this lying ass bullshit, pay for it.
And yeah,
Hey,
but they
Senator,
about they about to mess these universities up, though, man. They about to really mess them up. They about to really take a lot of intellectualism
they
away
don't
from.
want people to be educated, man. They want people to be herded like sheep. And
But
the
why
dumber
would
you are, the better.
I guess, like, why would you want an educated class or an educated society? I mean, theoretically, you would think, man, that's a good thing to have a good educated class. But
No.
then, it really ain't when you want to get people to do stuff. Like,
If you want to control people, keep them stupid.
you gotta keep them pretty stupid, man. You gotta keep them pretty stupid, or not even about keeping them stupid. They can be smart, just about the right shit. You can be smart. You just can't be too smart on other shit. You can't be talking about communism. You can't be talking about, this. You can study political science, but just keep it in the American realm. Don't go over there studying Chinese political science.
Mhm.
Don't study Indian political science. You just gotta study ours, and you'll be all
I,
right.
I know a physician, and what they're most disgusted by is that, having come to the realization that their thoughts were not their own as they were pursuing their medical degree. It's like,
Oh
looking back
yeah.
on it, my thoughts were not my own. I had to concentrate on regurgitating what I was being told to think. And that's what would qualify me to pass until I got my degree. And now that I got a little breathing room, and I'm discovering the contradiction in scientific assertions that go against, dare I say, I don't think they use the word common sense, but it goes against what is naturally sensible. It's like, it's naturally sensible to make sure that you have a good meal planning, as opposed to taking metformin or whatever these diabetic medications is. It's like the
Yeah,
root.
man, forming glucophage. That one ain't that
It's like,
bad.
let's talk about. the root cause of what the deal is with your meal planning, as opposed to you believing that a pill is gonna cure you, when in fact that pill is gonna lead to another pill and another pill and another pill until you're decrepit and dead. And
But the thing about metformin is it often you often gonna end up on insulin. You also gonna end up insulin dependent. You often do.
it's terrible.
You
These
often do.
medications are terrible. And whatever you can do to plan your meals better, I would advise it. Not that you have to listen to me. I'm just saying, like, study to show your own life's approved. Show your own life that you appreciate it by studying. For the time being that we have this internet, because believe it or not, I would be surprised if these crooked MFers shut that
Well, they
down too.
might if you want to read because they have to pretty much what see, I'm not walking now, but pretty much what
No, but
TPUSA.
what if they shut the internet down? You know how we get this
Well,
plethora of
you
information?
have to re-educate. You have to re-educate society. So to a certain extent, they already started that process. They already wiping the
They trying
internet
to shut
whitewashing.
people up, and
Yeah.
they use it under the flag of Christian nationalism. What they're gonna do is they're gonna be crooked and dirty and claim that you're crooked and dirty because you're not
Hmm.
a Christian.
And I
You
don't
see what
even
I'm
think
saying?
that's real. I think they're gonna use the term, but I don't think that's real Christianity. I think Jesus and Christianity get a real bad rep because of mankind and what we are willing to do.
Oh yeah.
We out here wilding. And I don't think that has nothing to do with Jesus. None of this stuff has anything to do with Jesus.
No one can be. No one can live up to Christ. We have to try to be Christ like. We have to
Christ like.
try to be Christ like, but we
Christ
can't
like.
be Christ.
No, we ain't got it. We ain't got the juice. We ain't got the juice to be Christ. Right? That's why I'm saying I know AP down there. Jesus is not a zombie. You got to get out of that shit, dog. That like
Who said
certain
that?
people you know who it is. Certain people do believe that,
I'm not talking about the man Jesus. I'm talking about the concept of Christ. Christ, a power source that you access in your own mind to keep you focused on loving kindness, well-being, like the fruits of the spirit. And just you need a power source to keep you focused on the fruits of the spirit that will better enable you to rest well, that you didn't hurt anybody. It's not about this stories. It's not about the stories. It's about the concept that
see,
that
no,
you
man, we
can
can't do that either,
operate.
man. We can't do that either. But check this. Somebody in the chat said
Well,
is exactly like
last I
what the
heard people were
Catholics did.
worshiping. You know what was crazy? I heard people, I've seen people put a Caucasian face on this so-called image of Christ when
Yeah.
it's not about a man. It's not about a man. It's about a power source, right? I mean,
No, it's
and
about your sin. It's about your sins. It's about sins, dog. That's what Jesus was a
sin is
representation of.
that's a concept too. That's a concept. Either you
You
want to
don't
act
sin,
right
sin
or
is
you don't.
sin is real. Mela, sin is
Either
real.
you want to act right or you don't. What
Mela, we can't make sin fake.
say what?
Sin is real. You can't make sin fake. What up,
What
gay base?
what is sin?
Sin is when you know you done wrong.
Okay. What is wrong?
You know what wrong is. I don't
And
have to.
it
It's a
is. It's
sin.
up to, and see,
You got
you
your
can't even.
commandments.
No. Do you have? Okay, let's go there with the Old Testament. So if we gonna dwell on the Old Testament, what about Jesus? Since we gonna go there, that's what I'm saying. It goes back and forth, and it can confuse people. And what I am interested in is not confusing people. It's about decency, period. And in order to guide the natural human inclination to be indecent sometimes, depending on how you trigger, as they say, you need a power source to maintain your cool, and people can rely on the Bible's particular scriptures about the fruit of the spirit, maybe the Beatitudes and other, well-being guidance, but all this other stuff that can be used to, persecute people, that's when it comes into question. It's like I appreciate the goodness of my grandmother, but she's a
No, we
heathen.
cannot. No, no.
I'm saying who introduced me to Bible study and stuff like that. That's
Okay,
what I'm
okay.
talking about.
Well, so we gotta let the ancestors slide, dog. We gotta let them
No,
rest in
I'm not
peace.
about to say anything bad. What I'm doing is complimenting her on utilizing the Bible as a power source. Like whenever she was stressed, whenever things was happening to her, the Bible was a power source. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm emphasizing. I'm not trying to talk crazy about anybody in my family, because I think that's a sin. If we want to get down and dirty, like honor your mother and your father, I believe in that. As much as I could talk smack, I'm not, because it doesn't honor them. So I pick and choose what I find valuable in the scriptures, but at the same time, as a person who has discovered the world,
You
I
can't pick and choose the
Is
scriptures.
exactly. I was just about to say that's the foundation to the issue, the pick it and choose it. Because if
well,
everybody
what
could pick,
works for
because if
you
everybody
is
could,
what works. It's no different than you picking
Mel,
Nikes over Adidas. You got your
Mel,
choices in life.
really quickly, just if everybody could
Nice
pick and
to meet you, by
choose,
the way.
you know who I am. I'm Gay Bay. What you be?
Yeah, I
I know
know,
you. Why you say nice to meet you then?
because you might be in a different mood today.
We gonna see. So my
Yeah.
point is, so my point is that if everybody can pick and choose what they think is right or wrong, or a sin or a transgression, then is there any right and wrong?
Well, that's where forgiveness, grace, and mercy come into play. I remember y'all boys
Hmm.
gave me hell about showing people forgiveness, grace, and mercy. But I believe in forgiveness, grace, and mercy. I believe in forgiveness. I believe in redemption. I do. I do believe that you can be better than you were.
I think so too, but I think the point is that Mella was talking about pick and choose from the scriptures, and my question is that if she could pick and choose and everybody could pick and choose, then it really is no right and wrong. Everything is relative at that point. Right and wrong is relative if
Everything
everybody
is
can pick and
relative.
choose.
See. I
Everything,
think the more and more
So
everything
black
is
people,
everything.
so
the
if
more and
everything
more
is
black people
relative, then
open up
you
about
can't say anything
spirituality,
is wrong.
I don't think
Mhm.
black people are really
If I
Christians the
go
more we
out
talk
here
about
and
spirituality.
steal an old woman's purse and then say Jesus is going to forgive me, that doesn't absolve the fact that I did something wrong.
Well,
But
Jesus
if you
can
could,
forgive you for stealing that
Now,
purse.
but
who is Jesus?
but the thing about it, Mella, is
Die for
that
your
if
sins.
so, the thing
The
about it, Mella,
man
is
or the power
Mella,
source? The concept of the power source. See, it's
Mella,
really about forgiving yourself, and people don't want to talk about that.
Mella, forgiven from what?
From wrongdoing.
But if you can pick and choose, there is no wrong in doing.
Now, actually,
If
that is
everybody
now
can
what
pick and
AP
choose, there
said
is
is
no
true.
wrongdoing.
That is a little bit true. I do think that Christians sometimes do that as well. We willingly do wrong because we rely on forgiveness, grace, and mercy. I do think that is
And
somewhat
that's
true.
manipulative, and that in and of itself is wrong. The
Hmm.
access to be able to manipulate the concept of right and wrong is in fact
We're talking about the concept of
deceitful.
forgiveness, but
There's
the
a
No, but
there's
concept
a
of
listen,
forgiveness.
like people out here doing wrong, thinking that so-called Jesus is going to forgive them. And that's crazy. That's not cool. It's like you don't do wrong just because you think Jesus is going to forgive you. What kind of shit is that?
So Mella,
If
So
let's
you
that's
all
my
look,
agree.
look Marley, if you
So
hungry, let's say Marley, you got food. Let's say hypothetically, you got food stamps, right?
And whatever you gonna say, Jesus gonna forgive me though, right?
Hypothetically, you on food stamps, right? And they ain't giving out food stamps right now. And you go steal a rack of ribs. Will you ask God for forgiveness?
Jesus gonna forgive me, right?
Exactly. You gotta. He know your heart. You saw your heart intention.
No, the intention was to steal.
No, the
The
intention was to
intention
eat.
was to not do what it was available to put yourself in a position to not have to do that.
The intention
That's
was
So
not
wrong.
to starve. It
You
was
put
not to starve,
yourself.
not to
so Mella,
steal.
Hold
so
on. That
let's go back in
person put
history.
themselves in a
Wait,
position,
wait,
and then they want to ask forgiveness when they execute
Mella.
a wrongdoing. That's that bullshit. And that's why I
Okay, let's
don't
take
get caught
something,
up in so-called Christian values. What I'm caught
Mella.
up in is a power source that keeps me cool and
So
focused
Mella, let's take that same
in
example, right?
doing well and
I,
extending loving
I hear
kindness
you.
and executing intelligence. That's what I do.
You made your point. Yo, my
I
question is
always
like
will make my point.
we know.
A,
So my point is that if you take the same scenario, right? Whether it's not so now it's not food stamps or it's not somebody stealing because they don't have food stamps.
let me ask you
Let's
something
let's
real
take it
quick.
back. No.
Should
Let
I
me
take
finish
my
talking.
mic?
No,
Am I too
Mello. Let me
loud?
finish talking. No,
Am I too
you're
loud?
talking. No, you're talking over me. I'm not finished talking. All right.
Oh,
So
well,
so I'm
God
saying let's
forbid
take
you
that
lose
same
your train
example.
of thought. I thought
I
you meant what
understand.
you were saying.
I mean, God forbid you lose that bottle, but let's keep going. So my point is that
And
let's take
there
the
it
same
is, those
example.
false accusations. There it is.
Let's take this same example and
That's
throw it
not
back
very
towards the
Christian, is it?
French Revolution. Let's take it back to the French Revolution, right? When the monarchs and those who were in power were starving the people and keeping all of the food, keeping all of the nourishment from the serfs and the people, right? Now, if well, she left.
She,
So
well, she'll come back up, but now keep on with that and let them eat cake, right?
there we go, right? Now, if those people who are starving, just start to cut off the hands of the people who are oppressing them and killing their kids and not allowing them opportunities, is that seen? Is that is that is that wrong when the people revolt because of
Revolt.
wrongdoing?
That's what I'm
Yeah, like
saying. That's the reason
so.
why God gave us. Not only did He send the whole Trinity, Son, but we also
Mhm.
got grace and mercy and forgiveness at the end of the day. That thing,
Absolutely.
and I think that we need to extend that more. I think Charlie Kirk should extend grace and mercy forgiveness to these professors and let them continue and not put them on some list and dox them. You know what I'm saying? That's
Charlie
crazy how
Kirk,
they.
he gone. Who you talking about?
His,
He's still here?
well, no, well, his organization is doing it
I got
through
you. I
spirit.
got
They
you.
still doing it.
Through the spirit. Okay, I got you. I might have came in at too late in the stream.
Oh no,
But yeah,
all I was
yeah,
showing was how. I'll give you a quick recap of it.
for sure.
TPUSA in 2016 put 200 professors on a watch list.
Oh dang.
And when you look at that, but they supposed to be pro First Amendment, pro free speech. And even though I might not like everything these professors were talking about, I don't think that was a Christian thing to do or an American thing to do.
Mhm.
And then replacing them with your own professors to teach your rhetoric, there's some trickiness in it. I just don't like how it's being done.
Some strategery. They,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
they
some
they try to get
trickery in it.
people in it. Yeah. But no, man, I was really clung to that concept of I could pick and choose what's right and wrong, because at that point it just becomes everybody like
Anarchy.
nobody could, yeah, anarchy. Anybody could say what's right and wrong, but you can't exact any standards. You can't say, oh, they were wrong. You should persecute them for that. No, if there's no objective right or wrong, then anything goes.
But after a
Anything
person
goes.
is persecuted, should they be able to live in freedom?
Well, that's just depends on if what standards you go by. I mean, I don't know. What do you mean? So if somebody's persecuted, they serve their time. I
Hmm.
mean, talk about something that's very prevalent in well, that people talk about in this space is that, I mean, sexual offenses, right? People get put on lists. for
Mm-hmm.
that. I
Yeah.
mean, are they forgiven?
I
I,
think
I,
they are. I think they
I mean,
are, man. I think
but
that
they gotta live with that list. They gotta live on that list though. So,
but they still forgiven to a certain extent where they can be back in society. Will they okay, a
but
person
they can't live certain places though. They can't live in certain
close to kids, close to schools and stuff like
kids,
that.
schools, daycares. Yeah. So, I mean, is that forgiveness? I don't know. I don't know, Pastor.
That is forgiveness because they could have executed them or they could have given them a chance. Cause look, these people can still get jobs. These people they can
Yeah.
still get driver's license. They can still get they can have the
Yeah.
internet but limited. They can have the internet but limited. Some of these people they got where you can't, you come in, they find out they have a program that will monitor your internet searches and stuff. So some of these people can't
Oh
even,
yeah.
yeah, what I'm saying? Hell yeah, nigga, I was forgiven. That's why I'm still doing what I'm doing. Nigga,
Yeah.
the fuck? With no
Yeah.
restrictions. No, so I'm glad you brought that up. Bro, we put that up on here, Mike. I got up in some crazy shit, right? Got into a crazy ass situation with a it's fucked up, stupid shit, right? But
You
then
guys had a relationship though, right? Or something from
huh,
what I understand.
it was some fucked up shit, dog. I was
Understood.
23 and she was
Mhm.
42.
Yeah.
And I ain't even gonna lie, I let her suck my dick, dog. I was sinful. I was
This
lustful.
guy.
I
It
did.
did.
I did, dog. I did, man. And that was
Well, where's the
sinful.
well, he said violated. Violated. Violated means that it was,
Well,
non-consensual.
technically, due to my position, that was a violation.
Yeah, a violation of
Yes,
your what he said.
professionalism.
He said you forced her to.
Nah, I ain't forced nobody to do shit. If I
Come
would have forced her to do it, I'd be in jail right now.
on, AP, you gotta chill.
I'd be
AP,
in
you gotta
jail.
see. That's the
I
thing.
would have
People
went to
be running with
jail.
stuff. Nah. Forced is different than
Yeah, force is a little bit
consensual,
different though.
but
Force is
goes
a little bit different.
against,
I would have went to
but
jail
goes
for that one.
against your occupational standards. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
nigga, I
different.
was a horrible professional at that. At that time, I was
Yeah,
a horrible. I made a horrible professional decision.
sure,
I
sure.
did. I
But
did.
he trying to act like it's some forced stuff. That's very
Nah, I
different.
ain't
That's
forced.
very
Nah,
different.
AP trolling in the chat. I get it, yo. It is what it is. Now, I deserve. Honestly, even though professionally I've been forgiven, I still do. I still work in my field, and I still do very well.
Yeah,
That's one thing that you can't personally forgive yourself for getting into. Because I'm like, how the hell I do something so stupid like that, get myself in that
hey
situation?
man,
So you can't. So forgiveness it works, but you can't be. You can't just keep doing the same shit.
true, true. But that's the thing. Is it's like it's and that's why I think it's so powerful. Is that at times you can do the same thing over and over again, and that forgiveness is not restricted to repeat offenders.
Hmm. No, I
Hey,
agree.
in
I
case you
agree.
have,
And I agree. I also
yeah,
agree that it could have been now criminally they could have that is actually what they looked at. They looked at
yeah,
was at malpractice because it was malpractice. It was bad
yeah,
practice, right? They looked at that, right? And I- they ended up saying that it didn't meet the statutes all the way completely of it. So I kept my license. I never lost my license. I never.
yeah.
I had to go to a class and pay
See,
a
AP.
fine.
See, that's what I'm saying. AP, you gotta
Mhm.
come on, because if
No,
somebody
no, no,
was
but
just
no,
reading
but
the chat, the thing is that if somebody
there's
was
some.
just
But no,
reading the
I like
chat,
reading the chat. I like reading the chat, but there's some
no,
reality to that
but
though,
I'm saying
because it
is,
was
what I'm saying is
malpractice,
somebody
yo.
was just reading the chat, then they would
Oh.
have a misconception of what it is, what of what happened.
Well, it was a bad situation, and I could have ended
Yeah,
up on a list. I could have ended up on a list of some shit like that, man. It was horrible. I was like, yo, that was so stupid, dog,
right,
and
right,
so weak and very lustful of me to even allow that to even happen like that, yo. So I
yeah,
mean, I
sure,
could have really, really fucked myself up horribly, and
right,
almost did.
yeah, yeah,
But based on forgiveness, I done moved on. That shit was 13 years
yeah.
ago.
You got to, because if you can't get past, that's the thing that they used to have. Yeah, like counseling services and everything up at my university, and
Uh-oh, Miller
especially
back
after
back with the bullshit. Let me drop that. Let
here
me
she
drop
go,
it.
here she go,
Hold on, no, no, hold on,
and
hold
they
on.
would
Let me do
say,
that.
and they
Miller,
would
shake your
say that
hand.
and they would say that, listen,
Damn, man.
if
Miller
you
done
can't
got
see
me out here as
beyond
a
your
sexual
situation,
abuser. Damn, that's fucked
yeah,
up.
they just talking. It's like the thing is
Mm.
that if you can't see beyond your circumstance, if you can't see like light beyond what you previously did, then it's like hopelessness, and then you kind of spiral down. But that's one thing that Christ offers is
Mhm.
forgiveness for you to be able to see beyond what your circumstance and current condition is. And I just don't see how a lot of people just out here just living with that stuff, man. You gotta let that junk go.
You gotta let it go, man. You gotta let it go, man. 'Cause, like that's how you grow and be a better person. Because
Absolutely.
you do some stupid stuff, and that's the thing about it. Even these professors, right, that they want to get rid of at TPUSA. In 3 to 5 years, they may not even be believing that same thing or even teaching that same thing. But the fact of how they're trying to take over the universities and control thought, I think it's crazy. And he said Jesus protected me like he does all evildoers. No, man, that's not how that goes, man. He don't protect the evildoers, man. You gotta stop that. That will be Satan. Satan protects the evildoers. You gotta stop that, man. These brothers got to stop. They got to find their way again, boy. They got to find their way back to Jesus. I think this nigga AP must be a Muslim or something. Nation of Islam looking nigga. I don't know what the brother is. I think he a Nation of Islam, Cherokee, Crip, Indian. I'm trying to figure it out, my dude. But anyway, I'm a I'm a Christian that God is always working on me. I ain't no perfect Christian. And I hate them righteous, super righteous Christians, right? And that's not me. I understand sin and the sinful ways of society. And I understand that lust, gluttony, greed. That's why you got them 10 commandments. And you don't technically. I'm illiterate. I know I can't read. I don't want to be able to read. I can read the Bible. Read the Bible. That's all I need to know how to read. I can read the Bible. That's all I need to know how to read, man. And I can read it for myself. Know about that forgiveness. I can know about redemption and moving forward in life and being the person that God called you to be. See, that's the thing about it. When y'all stop believing in Jesus, man, y'all become evil people. Y'all become evil people. And AP, you have become a evil person, nigga. That's what has happened, dog. You gotta take the thorn out your own eye before you can judge others. Right? You gotta take the thorn out your own eye before you can judge others. See, I didn't judge you when you came up when people try to call you names because you know, they try to say your wife is too young. I was like, nah, man, nah, she won't too young. AP got that girl at a good age and he stayed with her, man. And that won't no bad thing that he did. You know, they don't mean nothing to me either though. So how could you feel if someone did that to your mom? See, the thing about it is, man, like, I didn't actually do anything to the individual. That's the reason why technically just had to take a class and pay a fine because based off what was found and based off what she said and I said, she kind of did all the actions, but I shouldn't have let it happen. I shouldn't have let it happen. But it is. I mean, I let it happen. That was wrong of me to allow that to happen. But I can admit that I've allowed some wrong things to happen. Well, if my mama decided to do that, that would be on her. I can't tell her not to do that. I would hope my mama wouldn't do that. Yeah. Well, the victim can't. Well, no, victim, villains, victims. You know, I'm the daggone villain right now. That y'all trying to make me the villain. But theoretically, I was a victim. In the circumstances what made me look like I was the villain. And because the truth came out, I walked away from it and continued to do better with my life. Because of that. You don't think more people looked at this than you two online? No, man. A whole lot of people looked at it. And they said, no, he didn't do that. He didn't do that. She came and told what happened. I already told him what happened. I already told him what happened. Right? And then they found out she told him what she did. And I was like, damn. I just moved on from there. You know? It's one of those things, man. You gotta stand 10 toes. You know, you do something evil and sinful, you gotta learn from your behavior and move forward. That's what grace and mercy and forgiveness is all about. Hmm. She didn't invite me to exploit her. I didn't exploit her. I didn't exploit her, not one bit. The things y'all said I did, if I did, I'm trying to tell y'all, if I did any of that stuff, I'd be in a bad situation. And I'm not, you know, never. I know y'all want to see a brother down, but the brother's he's still up. Mm-hmm. Yep. Still up in the game. I'm all that, yo. I'm glad you pointing out all my sins, my nigga. Cause I rise above all my sins to do better. That's the whole thing about being a good Christian. You are given forgiveness for your sins, purified, and you move on forward from it. You gotta purify yourself from your evil ways, right? I don't mind y'all call me a sinner. I done been out here sinning, getting into trouble, but I done cleaned up all my ways. I'm pretty much a good person right now, dog. I don't care what. I'm pretty much a good person now. You know, and forget being a good person. I'm a saved person. I ain't sanctified, but I'm a saved person, right? It don't matter. That don't even matter. You still gotta be there for them. Still gotta be there for them. That's all that matters. Mm-hmm. Child is under my guidance. Always is. Mm-hmm. See, that is the ways of the evil. You with the evil. You with the evil, my nigga. You want to try to, oh, I'm gonna expose this nigga for that. You ain't exposed nothing for me. You can't tell more truth about me than I'll tell you myself, my nigga. That's the reason why God has given me so much grace and mercy, boy. Cause I tell more truth about myself than a lie you could ever tell. And that's the reason why all y'all need to make it back to Jesus. Y'all are sitting here calling Jesus a zombie and all kinds of crazy stuff. Y'all got to make it back. Cause how y'all living ain't it. How y'all living and hating on Jesus ain't it, dog. But it's been about 2 hours. Y'all have a blessing. I know he ate though. No, he ate. Mm-hmm. You don't even know what your child ate for breakfast or dinner sometimes. You gotta go to work. You gotta make it. You gotta get it happen. See, I can take the thorn out of my eye because I'm not a judgment. I don't do all that. But I want y'all to be blessed. I want all y'all to be blessed and learn some forgiveness, mercy, and grace in your heart. Do not let the Christian nationalism, Christian communism, take over the education of yourself or your children. Since we're talking about the children, you got to protect the minds of the children. You got to teach the children and show the children a good way because they're going to make mistakes too. Your children are going to make mistakes too, but you got to be there for them. And you got to stay blessed. You got to stay 100. Y'all have a blessing.